Fantasy Philosophers is brought to you by fantasy-info.com.
Nate Burleson actually did have a good season for himself in 2009 as he was bouncing back from a torn ACL the season before, and we just didn't know, when you have an injury like that, can you come back and be the kind of player that you used to be? And he did show resemblance of being that kind of guy. He had over 800 yards receiving, and so he was showing that he could be, again, maybe hopefully even by this season, I think he'll be a little bit more productive because of the second year off the knee. He did leave the Seattle Seahawks this offseason, sign with the Detroit Lions, and really, for fantasy, his value may be better felt or more known for what Calvin Johnson does this year than it is for what he does even himself. As with his value, as long as he's playing good and respectable on the other side, it should lead to Calvin Johnson seeing less, coverage on the other side of the field. Teams not being able to lock down on him quite as much, and he will be able to get out and have more success in production. With Calvin, it's going to be essential for him to stay healthy. His injuries have lingered. We talked about that a lot on his fantasy rankings on his page for this season. We talked about that a lot for Calvin being a big key for his success, but Nate is also going to attribute to that success. For Nate's fantasy value right now, I'd say he's a guy that you definitely don't want to be drafting, as we need to see Matthew Stafford take a lot more in his progression. He's only in his second year. Their offensive line is shaky, so there may be a stretch where even Matthews is out of the lineup, and Sean Hill's going to probably be their backup. And he's steady, but he definitely does not have the kind of arm that a guy like Stafford has, so he'd be more of a maintenance and managing type guy to just move the offense. So with Burleson, it's going to take some things coming together for him to really be a fantasy relevant name on this team, especially for this season.
For more fantasy football information, go to fantasy-info.com and sign up for our free e-newsletter. Good luck in your 2010 Fantasy Football League. As an added bonus, the Fantasy Info guys will include their 5 secret tips for success in fantasy football.